Hi friends, welcome back to Arc Tutorials. This is expressjs full tutorial series for absolute beginners. In today's episode we are going to learn a very fundamental and very important concept in expressjs, which is routing. What is routing, what are the different types, available HTTP methods, and much more. Let's get started. This is part 4 of the series. If you have missed out on the first 3 parts, make sure that you go back, check out those episodes in order to have continuity to your learning. This is part 4. Let's learn about routing. So first thing, basics. What is routing? Routing is a process of determining how an application responds to a client request to a specified endpoint. In simple words, let me give you this example with some notes. This is what we did in the last episode, and in the notes let me write it down for episode 4. Today we are learning routing. So let's say you are going to a URL which looks like this, or something like add product, right? Now these are different URLs. Based on this, expressjs has to determine which route should go to which or which route should give what output. Correct? That means based on the route, the output will be decided, right? Or the logic. For example, when you go to add hyphen product, it should add a product. When you go to products list, it should list down all the products for you. When you go to home page, it should bring certain data. So that is called determination of routes and what data to be displayed. Okay, that's what this line means. Routing is the process of determining how an application responds to a client request to a specified endpoint. Now that is URL plus HTTP method. An endpoint is a path plus HTTP verb like get, post, etc. Okay. Now think of it this way. In the home page, in the hello world program, we wrote app.get, right? So this is that HTTP method that we are talking about. We'll cover all of this in detail as we progress, but for now, understand that we are telling endpoint what is the route it should go to and what is the method. Okay, those are the two things that are important: route and HTTP verb. Now why is routing important? It defines the very behavior of your server for different client requests. Okay, it organizes your server logic and keeps your code modular. It also enables API development, navigation, and user interaction with the app. Okay, so importantly, remember these two: path plus HTTP verb. Okay, those are the two things. Now let's talk about some core components of a route. I told you that the first and foremost is the HTTP method. Okay, which means what method you are going to use. Is it a get, post, put, or delete? Then the path, that is slash about, slash user, slash ID, whatever it is that could be. Then it will always follow a callback method. That means what should happen when the user comes to that route. That's called a handler function. Okay. Now, like for example, take a look at this. Here, the URL is slash in this case. The HTTP method is get, and then this part is the handler function which tells what needs to be done when it's called. Okay, those are the three things that the expressjs routing will need: URL, HTTP method, and handler function. In handler function, this is where we write all our logic piece here. All logic will go here. Okay, all right. So now let's talk about the different types of routes. There are three different types of routes. One is static route. That means path is always fixed, like slash about, slash product, slash users, like that. We can also define dynamic routes, which means when we talk about, let's say, a product, right? Now let's say this will list all products. But now when I say product slash 10, that means give me details of a particular product with ID equal to 10. Okay, that's what this means. So this is dynamic in nature now. Okay, this is dynamic in nature, this is static. So example, remember, this is static, this is dynamic in nature. Query routes, this means whenever you do any search or anything of those sorts which comes from query strings, right, that it would look like search question mark equal to book, etc. Those becomes query routes. So these are the three types of routes that are available in expressjs. There are other routes like wildcard, 404 handler, middleware, logging, etc. But you can say these are the three main types of routes that can be categorized. Now, express matches the first route that fits the request. Okay, so when you define the structure in your application, that matters. The first one matched will serve the request. If no routes are matching, then it falls to a 404 handler. Middleware functions can also be used to handle the route authentication, logging, etc. Now, let's talk about the common HTTP methods before we start coding. I showed you the common HTTP verbs or methods are get, post, put, and delete. Okay, get, as the name says, you will fetch data from the server. Post means you will submit data to the server. Put is again submit plus update. Okay, so think of put like an update. So get, post is nothing but add, put is nothing but update, delete is to remove the data. These are the four common methods that are implemented across all endpoints. Now if you talk about, let's say, Instagram, in Instagram when you create a new reel or a post, you are doing a post data. When you search something, you are asking fetch data. When you update your profile, you are doing a put data. When you delete your photos or reels, that is delete data. Think of it that way. So any web application works on these four principles. This is also called as CRUD operations. CRUD, create, read, update, and delete. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope the basic concepts are clear and we are good to start coding. In the next episode, I'll start coding for the get method routes. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're learning. Please do like, share these videos with your friends, colleagues. Also, please do drop a comment if you like my work. That would be my motivation and a way of saying thank you. Alright, see you in the next episode. Bye.